Hello and welcome everybody to the Beacon of Light podcast bonus. Woohoo! We're on a Thursday night. And why are we on a Thursday night? Because I brought in this amazing young man, Mr. David Branderhorst. Yay! So before we start talking to him, we got to jump into this. Maybe.
I'm April Tribe Juke. Welcome to the Beacon of Light podcast. I believe we are all made with light, and light is hope. This podcast brings authors who write stories of hope to all of you. Your journey to be inspired and amplified by these stories starts now.
And we're back. All right, David, you are an incredible guy over here. So I know a lot of people are going to be popping in here, probably asking lots of questions, and we hope and really encourage all of that. I also saw a few, I need to watch the replay. So I got you. You can come in here at any time. So David, why did I bring you on the podcast tonight? Why? Any ideas?
Well, wasn't it? I thought it was just because you wanted to say that I was looking like a young man. I'm already,
That's right.
I'm sold right there. I don't need anything else. I'm done. Right there. I'm happy.
That's right. Go with the youth and all becomes well. That's right.
I'm going to take that.
Well, he has a lot of youth and energy to give to all of you authors out there. And the reason why I pulled him in here is because he really knows his stuff. That's all I can really tell you. He knows, he's been through the dip and the fire, and he just knows what's happening out there online, what to do and how to really help and support authors. And you guys are authors out there. So I thought, let's bring in my friend and let's just have a chat tonight. So tonight we're going to be chatting with David because his whole thing, you can see it running on the ticker underneath there, 4 keys to selling more books. Who wants that? Hop out there, drop it in the comments. Oh, I got to look at the comments. There we go. Hopping over there, looking at the comments, and just share with your information. If you guys have questions, put it down there because David is here for y'all. So he wrote a blog post that had 3. Then he was thinking about it and he added a 4th for us tonight. So those that are here, you guys get this special added, I would say, bonus for tonight. Okay, David, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been in this, online marketing space, kind of been as started my own business, helped run all that and get all that going. And we were really successful with that. And then really started to develop a passion for working with authors, for working with coaches and course creators. And a lot of those times, those people are the same. They're doing much, in one of those veins all together. And I really enjoy seeing people in that spot get their message out to the world because there's so many authors who have written great stories, great help, books that can help people. And they put all this amazing stuff out there and they need to get their message out into the world. So what I really enjoy doing is helping people build their business, helping people get their book sales, get their message out into the world, because you can have an incredible message, but if no one reads it, if no one sees it, then it doesn't go anywhere. So that's what we're trying to fight against. And that's what we're trying to avoid, and to give you ways of not just earning more income, but also to have more impact in the world and to make a difference in people's lives.
That's right. Make a difference in people's lives. Okay. Hey, Facebook user, it says good stuff. How can I share? So I'm assuming you mean share the broadcast. I'm hoping that. So if you want to share the broadcast, there is a little share click button on the Beacon of Light podcast right there, or on my profile, or you can head over to YouTube at the Beacon of Light April Tribe podcast there, and we can share it in all different ways. So hop in there, go for it, share it out. We would love that. So people are popping in here and asking these kind of questions. So that is great. I agree, David. People put all of their efforts, blood, sweat, and tears into these books and so on and so forth. And I loved what you said in the blog where you were talking about, well, do you know what people want to read in the first place, basically, right? So that's a huge first step. So kind of talk about that.
Yeah, this is something that I see a lot. And I talk to people about, okay, tell me about the book that you're writing or that you have written, and why did you write that book? And usually what I hear back is, well, it was something that really interested me. It was something that I really enjoyed. It was something that I had a passion for. And I'm like, okay. And, that's not bad to have to write about things that you're passionate about. But one of the things that you need to also consider is, are other people interested and passionate about this? Are you like one of the few people that actually are passionate and interested in this topic? Because I've even seen books where, to be honest, a lot of the book was more or less written all about themselves and their own life and everything about it. And while I'm sure there was a lot of interesting points to that, the rest of the world isn't as interested. They're not interested in reading a book all about you, unless you're a celebrity or some famous person. So when you're looking at trying to do this so that you can get more book sales, one of the first things I would recommend doing before you even start writing is to think about your topic and choose your topic wisely. And how do you do that? Well, the first thing I would do is, let's say you're thinking about, writing on this one specific topic. The first thing I would recommend that you do is go on Amazon and start searching for books on that topic. How many books do you find that are what I would consider hot sellers? That you're seeing books that they're selling lots and lots of copies on all of these things. And they are really, really making a lot of waves. You can see lots of people are engaging. And not only are you seeing some books that are really hot sellers, you're seeing a lot of books in this space. And some people may say, well, that means that all of it's already covered and I shouldn't even enter in and do anything with it. And I would argue the opposite is what I would view that as, is that there's a market for this type of material. Now, the opposite is if you go on Amazon and you search for a specific topic and you see very few books and you see very little information on that, unless this is something that's totally cutting edge and just now coming out, odds are at this point, with millions and millions of books out there, if it hasn't even been covered, there's probably a reason, and that there's just not a lot of interest in that topic. So the first thing to do is, again, go on Amazon and start searching. Are there books there on that topic? How many books are there? How many of them are hot selling books? And then once you see that and you get a feel for it, you get an understanding if there's really truly a market on this, then go on Google. And if you've ever looked and done use the Google Keyword Planner, one of the things that you can do on that is you can go in and you can search for certain phrases, certain terms, certain words, and you can see how many searches are done every month for that phrase on Google. So if somebody's going into Google and searching for that phrase, it'll share with you how many thousands or millions of times that phrase or that word gets searched for. So if you're going on that keyword planner and you're looking for all that and you're seeing, oh, the phrase and the term that I want to really write my book about gets about 5,000 searches a month, I'm here to tell you, you're probably already in trouble, because that is when you have billions of people on the internet all searching for a wide variety of things, and only about 5,000 a month are searching for your term or your phrase. That just tells you that this isn't something a lot of people are concerned with. This isn't something that a lot of people are searching for help on. And so you really want to think about that. If you're searching for things that no one else is looking for, then what I'm going to tell you is there's probably a challenge with that. There's probably a challenge in that you are, speaking to an audience that just isn't there or is very, very small. So if you wrote a book to this, you probably cut yourself off at the knees before you ever even started, because you've written a book on a topic that there really just isn't much of a market for, and there isn't a lot of interest in. So the first thing I recommend doing is doing that research, figuring out, are there lots of hungry buyers? Are there lots of interested people in this topic? And as you're going through it, do you have a better idea and approach? Again, you don't want to, if there are a lot of good books out there, if there's a lot of interest in this topic, are you able to write a book that offers a fresh approach, a fresh idea, a fresh story? Or are you just going to regurgitate what everyone else has already said? So if you can get into a good niche and a good topic that has a lot of interest, now your objective is, how do I have a different take on it? How do I create a story that's different from what is already out there? How do I write a help book, like a nonfiction book, that has principles and lessons and perspectives that's contrary to what some of the other books are already out there. As again, if your book's going to look like everyone else's, then no one else needs to buy your book because they've already read the other book that covered the same material. So you get there, and then you position yourself to be unique. You position yourself to be different, and now you put yourself in a much better position to start getting book sales for yourself.
Yes, and it's really, really interesting that it's encouraging and it can feel discouraging at the same time. But really, if you just kind of set that aside for a minute, put that emotion over yonder, and just really look at what are the facts of things, because what I heard you say is that people are 100% selfish. They're looking for help for themselves. They don't really care about you. They don't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming in to say, I have a problem. Nope, that's not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. What the heck? Nope. Oh, my problems are solved.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't solve somebody else's problem, because we're always thinking about ourselves, sorry, but it is the truth. That's why you pop out in here. Look, we must have this problem because we can't sell our books. We can't sell the books. Look at our problem. We're like, David, help us, right? So it's that idea. We're really focused in on that, and that's just life. So if you can put something down that it's going to be a solve, help, give results, solve somebody else's problem, whatever it is, and it can be fiction, nonfiction, it can be written as a children's book. The format, if it's the more unique, great. But like he said, if your topic, if your whatever it is that you're going to share does not give a result or help solve problems for a lot of people out there, that's what they're looking for on that key word search. You might want to be thinking about that. Maybe you can put a piece of that story within, the context of things. It doesn't mean that, oh, that's it. Maybe it's just a perspective shift on what it is that you can present. So is that kind of right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you're solid.
Okay. All right, solid on that. Woohoo! Look at that foundation on the rock, man. On the rock. Okay. Well, I think you shared something, I really enjoyed your little Yoda pun, choose wisely you must. Exactly. Yes. So now your second key point was that you need to become an ambassador for your book. All right, explain it out there, sir. What's happening with that?
Yeah, I hear a lot of authors, again, and when they're talking about their book, they get their book written, it's published, it's out, it's for sale in the world. And I hear this phrase all the time, okay, that's done. And I go, that's a bad comment, because what I hear is that you've stopped working on your book. You've written it, you've gotten it through the editing process, you got it through the publication process, you have it listed out on Amazon and wherever else, you've got copies of it for yourself, and you're looking at it as done. The thing you need to keep in mind is if your book and you are intimately tied together, you are a team. In other words, you're unified. So if you are not out there talking about your book, no one is going to know the book is there, because there are several million books that get published every single year. And if you're not out there actually speaking about your book, people more than likely are not going to know that it's there. So one of the things that you have to understand when you write your book is you need to be an ambassador for your message and for your book. Now, that means a certain number of things. And these are things that I see all the time that really help authors get lots of book sales. One of them is go find relevant groups to speak to. I see this all the time where people go out, they find an audience that makes sense for them, that they can give a talk, they can go speak to an audience about their topic, about their message, and at the end, they offer the ability for people to purchase books. And I see people go, and again, depending on the size of the audience, they can move a nice little stack of books at the end of the night, and they're selling them all directly out of their own stash. So they're not just getting the Amazon cut, they're getting a much bigger cut for each one of their books. And if you can do that and continue to get more opportunities like that, that is a nice way to start selling a nice little spread and nice little sum of books. And you're exposing your message out to an entirely new audience every single time. And that's really, really important. Another strategy is to get on podcasts. So you got to think about it. We all
like
of us,
my podcast.
like
Hey, y'all, like my podcast.
like your podcast, exactly. But you think about it, all of us have a following, and our following is so big. We have so many people that we are engaged with, that are listening to us, that are hearing our message. And, you know, from what I understand, we're not that far away from 8 billion people on the planet. So unless your following is 1 billion people, you have a lot of room to expand. You have a lot of room to get your audience a lot bigger. And most of us have, you know, an audience of the few hundreds or the few thousands is typically where most of our audience size are. So how can you get that bigger? Well, you have to get in front of new audiences, and going on someone's podcast like this with April is a great way to do this. It's a great way to expose your message to an entirely new group of people who may not otherwise have heard what you have to share. So get out there, get on podcasts, and get in front of other audiences, because especially when you're new, especially when you're first getting started out, your audience probably isn't that large. So as a result, you need to reach out and get in front of other audiences. Getting on other podcasts is a great way to do it, because every time you get on that podcast, the people that are following that podcast and are listening to it or watching the videos, are all of a sudden, these are all new people are getting exposed to your message and to your book and learning more about it. Now, the best way to do this is really then to build your own following. So as you are then doing all of this and you're building your own following, and you're getting exposed to new audiences, the key that you want to do as you're going out and speaking, as you're going out on other podcasts, is you want to start building your own audience, so that every time you do this, you're not kind of knocking on someone else's door saying, hey, can I get on your platform? Can I speak to your audience? Can I do this? No, as time goes on, you start building your own following. You start having your own people, so that you aren't as dependent upon everyone else for all this. And one of the best ways that I have for doing this, especially the way things have shaped up on social media here in the last few years, is to create your own Facebook group. And to go on and create your own Facebook group and start getting a Facebook group of people who are interested in your topic and in your message. Now, one of the things you have to remember is it's important not to just get people into a group, but to give them a reason for wanting to be there. Incentivize them, give them things that they wouldn't get otherwise, give them little added perks, added bonuses, added things that they can get by being a part of that Facebook group that they wouldn't get otherwise. So they're excited, they're happy to be there, they're getting extra knowledge, information, resources, whatever that may be, for being a part of the group. And you need to make sure that you're always creating engagement with them on a regular basis. Ask questions, do interactive things, do videos that they can respond to, do different types of posts that get people to respond. Because when you do that, you are getting people to engage with you. You're getting people to be active. Otherwise, people can start to not participate in the group and start to fade away. So when you do that, over the course of time, you can make offers to them, and you get people into your group, and you can start to make offers to them and say, hey, you know, I just came out with this book, and this book is all about this. And if you've attracted your audience well, and you've done a good job of bringing in the right kind of people, you're going to have people who would be interested in that topic. You're going to have people who would say, hey, yeah, that is interesting to me. And then you can make offers to your group and say, hey, you know, if you get a copy of my book right now, I also will be, just because you're a part of my Facebook group, and I'll offer you this and this if you buy a copy of my book, like through this link, and so on. And so what you can do is then you can start getting book sales, and people will be excited and say, hey, not only am I getting your book and I'm getting a great book that I'm interested in, I'm also getting some great perks. I'm getting some extra bonuses because I'm a part of this group, and you're giving us extra things along the way. And then the next trick to have utilizing your Facebook group is to start adding those people to your email list. Now, there's a little thing that you may or may not know, and most people know, but not everyone's utilizing it. That when you request to join someone's Facebook group, a lot of times what you'll be asked is a series of 3 questions. Now, those 3 questions can be anything. The people who set up the group can create those questions for anything. And you may have noticed that more and more all the time that people are asking the question when you request to join the group, would you, if we, sent you this, this, and this, would you, if you would be interested in receiving the following things, please enter your email below, or you give them an incentive to receive a certain thing and you ask them to enter their email address. And if you can either then take that email address and manually enter it into your email account and have that added to your email list, or you can use a service like Group Funnels or something else, which is software which will just automatically transfer those people straight from Facebook into your Facebook group and be able to move those over. And every time someone jumps into your Facebook group, enters their email in the questions, you can add that person and keep building your email list. So then not only are you able to communicate with them in the Facebook group, but you're also able to email them, and you're able to build that relationship and nurture that relationship over time so that you can build it, you can grow it, and you can turn this into something where people are learning about what you do, about what everything is about, and how you can continue to develop that relationship so people will want to buy your book, they want to buy whatever else that you have, and you can continue to stay relevant and to stay in front of them. When you do those types of things, you're not just posting on social media and hoping someone sees it. You're starting to become a lot more intentional, and you're starting to become a lot more strategic about it, because you're not only getting them in your group where you have more control and you can engage in the conversation better, but you're also getting them on your email list, which is now under your control instead of being on someone else's platform.
Right. So it looks like we've got a few questions.
Okay.
What's the name of that software?
Group Funnels. So yeah, GROUP and then funnels. So yeah. So look at that. That's something that you can look at. It's software that'll take the email that people would enter into the questions, transfer it to a Google Sheet, and then if you use Zapier, that can then transfer it from the Google Sheet into your email account, your email service.
So your email service, like MailChimp, like
Right.
ConvertKit, like Aweber, like those kinds of things. So there's lots of great things to look for that. And so that is awesome. So you guys set up your groups. Make sure you've really targeted who your who is. You know who that is. Wink, wink. And then make sure that you've got a question on that group so they will give you your email. It's really great if you have like a quick little free PDF about something, and then that little transaction happens and you've got an email. And it's really important to just keep feeding that along, because sometimes you're put in some precarious places and you need to have that email to keep reaching out to your people.
Correct.
That's all I'll say. I'll just sign it. Just sign it. All right. So those are the first 2. Great. We also covered that idea. Here is something that you were talking about a little bit, about packaging your books and products with other services. So like with coaching and things like that. So I wanted to share, I have a friend, her name is Sunny Heron, and you guys know her in the group. Well, she has an incredible group that she helps give supports with another amazing guy, and they make glass. This is a sign for glass pumpkins. All right. And the whole idea is that this group, people know that they're going there to buy these pumpkins, right? But something that gets all the people excited about the group is that sometimes they'll have like the top buyer of the month or whatever. They get to, maybe be a part of the actual live selling, and, so these kinds of cool things. And they're just really simple because they were going to go live anyway. And now they just pop somebody else on there to, and I love my 18th pumpkin that I bought, whatever. And so Sunny has a really great group like that. And she gives lots of fun things away. And they were things that aren't out of the way, but they are just help other people to shine, because like I said at the very beginning, we're so focused on ourselves that when you can shine somebody's light on there, they're like, oh, wow, look at me. So kind of fun. All right. So the products, the ideas like that. I like how you said a little earlier, we're kind of, it is a kind of conditioning to know that, hey, in this group, I will be making offers. I mean, eventually, yeah, I'm going to be making these offers. So if you have somebody who's like so offended, oh, I can't believe it, they asked me to buy the book. Well, they probably weren't part of your great audience anyway. So kind of help them to know, I'm here, you guys are here, we're going to be doing things back and forth. And if everything is free, you're just going to be poor. That's from Jim Edwards. So that's the truth. It's just true. So, you really have to kind of share things back and forth, and it becomes a little bit, it's different than only transactional, but there's an idea that you're there to give and they are there to, to get. And when you have those things together and they know it right up front, they're not going to be super offended and like, I can't believe it, they asked me to buy a $10 book. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, if they're offended by that, then you
They're
probably
not your group.
you really don't want them in your group anyway, because
Right.
that's not, that's not. Get over it. If it's, if I'm going to be in here serving you nonstop, helping you, giving to you, and I'm giving you all to help to you, supporting you all the time, and then once in a while I ask about maybe making an offer about buying the book or whatever else I have, and you get upset by that, then you just need to leave, because I'm not here to work for you full time for free. That's not how this is, and that's how it works. Because if you have that perspective, you and I are on very different places anyway. So
very true. All right. So with some of these products, name one, because there's so many. Name one that's usually pretty good for authors.
In terms of extra products that you can offer and sell. Yeah. Well, this is the easiest things that you can start to do is to offer courses. So here's something that we would do all the time is you have the book, and the book is great and you can offer that. But when you sell the book, typically, especially on Amazon or whatever it may be, where you're selling it, you're probably going to make $2 to $4, depending on the book, how expensive it is, what kind of book it is, so forth. So you're not making a lot of money. So to really make good money on Amazon, you really need to be able to sell a lot of books, and you can do that, but it's it's a much more of a volume game, and you really got to be able to grow it hard and fast in large numbers to get a lot of income out of that. So the other approach then really is, well, how else can I package things with it? And so many times the easiest way to do that, and we've seen this over and over again, is to build a course on your book. And you can do this if you have a fiction book or a nonfiction book. And I know a lot of people who write fiction books always look at me and say, no, you can't create a course on a fiction book. I say that's baloney. I've seen it happen. It can be done. If you want to write a course on a fiction book, what you have to do is you have to look at the story of your main character, look at the journey that they went through, look at all the life lessons that they learned as they went through that story. And as all those things progressed, you can create principles, you can create lessons, you can create things that your main character learned, how they grew and changed and transformed as a person. And you could take all those lessons and apply them to the people who would be interested in them and create a course on it like that. So don't tell me you can't create a course around a fiction book, because you can. You just have to open up your mind and expand your thinking a little bit. And it absolutely is possible. Now, the best way that you can do that, so your course can essentially be your book plus some expanded materials and resources, and you teach it via video. You have some workbook pages. You have, you can have a lot of the same things that are in the book, but you're teaching it and making it very applicable to their lives. And you're taking it and making that course something that now they can all use and go through and get impact on their life and solve a problem or help them reach a desire, depending on which type of book you have. But they can really take all these life lessons and apply them, so they can all of a sudden build a course on it. So that takes your book from $2 to $4 per sale to potentially several $100s per sales. Because if you sold a book, that's $2 to $4 profit, again, depending on the kind of book you have. But if you sold a book with a course, Now you've taken that sale and turned it into several $100s of profit. And again, if you're going on podcasts, if you're going to speaking engagements, all of a sudden, instead of just offering your book, you can offer a book with a accompanying course that can go with it. And suddenly the opportunity for you to make income has now grown exponentially. Then the next level of things that you can do really does involve going out and taking your idea and actually starting coaching people, and not just selling it as a course. But if you enjoy coaching people, you enjoy working with people in more of a one-on-one type environment or in a group environment, or if you want to coach people in a group setting, you can do all that. And suddenly now your same content that you were only making a couple bucks per book on can turn into several $1,000 coaching contracts or consulting contracts. And there's all these different things that you can layer on, that you're now doing work for people in a much more hands-on manner in either individual or group settings. And you can suddenly start charging thousands of dollars to do all this. You could set up membership sites for your content that people can go through and apply and go through the process and get your help. And you could have people joining in, and they could be paying you every single month for all of these things. So there's lots of ways that you can do this, but you have to be willing to expand your thinking. You have to be willing to expand the way you're going to view your book. The book is awesome and amazing and incredible. It's a great achievement. But if you just stop there, you've really missed out on a lot of opportunities, and you missed out on the potential to go out and to be able to increase your income, increase your impact, and to really actually make a full-time living from your message. And I know a lot of authors, that's what they would love to be able to do, is to be able to earn a full-time income from their writing and from their content. But again, for you to do that with your book, you have to sell tens of thousands of your copies of your book, whereas you could get by with much smaller numbers if you were selling other products and services along with your book, and you had more of a full product suite of options than just simply the book.
Excellent. You guys have it out there. I saw it fast fingers, and we've got this, I love the course idea. Yes, take it, do it, go. There's so many ways to do it, and find the way that works for you. Okay, David, we're getting close to the end here, and you said you had a fourth.
I do.
Okay.
After I submitted the blog post, I had there's something else that I could have shared, but I was trying to be nice and stay in the word count level that April told me to stay in. So
you can blab out. We're good.
Okay. So anyway, is it okay if I share my screen a little bit?
Yes. Do I need to
okay?
do something? Can you share it?
I will try.
What am I supposed to do?
Hold on. Let me see if
they say this is awesome information, and yes, we agree. It is super, super awesome information. Oh, look, he's going to share stuff, guys. Here we go.
All right.
Oh, I got to add that to the thing, right? Yep. Okay. Hey, Look at that.
What are you seeing? My Amazon?
I see raising chickens.
All right, good. We're on the right spot then. So don't ask me why I'm on chickens. I don't know if I had Jim Edwards on the brain or what, but there was this thing that I saw the other day that really made me pause, and it really made me think. Is like so many times when people put their book up on Amazon, they just do what the information needs to be just to get the book listed. And what they're forgetting and not understanding is that this page where your book is listed is your sales page for your book. And so I found two books that are very similar, and I want to show you the difference, and I want you to see the difference in the sales and the ratings and the different things like that. So this is a very colorful book. It's called The Beginner's Guide to Raising Chickens and How to Raise a Happy Backyard Flock. It makes you smile. And as you go down this page and you get past the recommended reading, what do you see? You see these engaging images. Now, these are images that you can make inside of Canva or something like that, but they have all that. They have some images talking about water and these different things, and they have lots of, they have a lot of different little things on here, and she has done a really nice job of building a very engaging, a very colorful, a very bright and friendly sales page for her book on Amazon. She didn't just put the bare minimum. And so conversely, let's look at this one. Here's another one that is how to raise backyard chickens for eggs and meat or keeping poultry as pets. So to be honest with you, this book is very similar in its content. The content for this book honestly may be better than the first book. I don't even know. I haven't read these books. I'm just looking at them. But as you scroll down this page, what you're going to see is there's nothing here. There's no customer reviews. There's no additional information. She just basically, or whoever this was that did this, just basically put this basic bare minimum information on their Amazon listing. And as a result, didn't go that extra mile. So when people found their book and looked at this book, there was very little to engage them and to make them get excited about buying it. And this book is $5.38, and this other book over here is $11. So it's even half the price, probably giving very similar information. But this one has 3,800 ratings. This is when you search for raising chickens, this is the #1 book that pops up in Amazon, and it's top of the list. And I firmly believe that a good chunk of the reason why is because of what she did right here. She created a very attractive, a very engaging page for her book. She didn't just put the bare minimum in, she put in extra work to make this enticing, exciting, and interesting, and something that people will look at and go, oh, this looks very interesting. This is bright and colorful. I like it. It's entertaining. It's something that I really like. And this is really, really good. All right. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. And
all right. I was clicking on the wrong tab. All right. I'm back.
You're good.
So
anyways, wonderful.
So you can do that. And then when you're in your couple more little tidbits on it in April, then I'll stop with all that. But I had a couple other ideas on all this. So not only are you upping the ante on your sales page and on Amazon and making that much more attractive and good, now you got to go back, and now that you have that there, go back to your Facebook group, go back to the groups that you're in, and start offering to people, hey, I will even give you a free PDF copy of my book if you will give me a review. So follow up with them and say, hey, I'll give you a free PDF of my book if you're willing to, in 2 weeks after you've read through it, give me a review in 2 weeks, because the more reviews you get on your book on Amazon, the better it's going to do for your ranking. The more reviews, the more Amazon says, hey, there's lots of people coming in saying this is a really good book. We're going to put it higher in the search results. So these are all really great things that you could do. And then the last thing I had on all that is consider running Amazon ads. Now, I'm not going to take the time to go through and talk about how to do ads on there. But one of the things that you can do is Amazon ads are not terribly expensive. They're really, really not. And what you can do with an Amazon ad is you can boost your book's position in the search results. Because in so many ways, Amazon is a search engine. Amazon is just a search engine for products. It's not like a search engine like Google is, where you're searching for information or knowledge or just answers to questions. It's a search engine for products. A search engine that, you're looking for a certain book, you're looking for a certain product. You go on there and search in the search bar, and it pulls it up. And if you spend a little bit of money, and don't go crazy, but you spend a little bit of money on Amazon ads to push your book, and again, knowing your keywords, know what words are relevant to your book, what words people are going to be searching, and doing that research, and then doing some ads to push your book higher up in the search results, so that when people search for that topic, your book is shown right near the top and is one of the top choices for them to consider buying. That will also do an awful lot for you to be able to increase your book sales.
Okay, guys, do you see why I had him on? Do you see what I have him on? That's right. Melissa's like, great information. Thank you. We have people say number 4 is a great idea. Others say, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Love this 4th feature. So yes, this is why I'm like, hey, David, come on the podcast. I love it. So this is fantastic. I agree. The Amazon ads really, I would say, get your most bang for your buck when you're talking about books, for sure. You can just, I mean, it ranks up there, and that is just a big, big deal. Somebody did ask a question about a different thing called how about podcast? How about a podcast on placing ads? Is that what you're asking for? Maybe we'll invite David back. Is that what you want out there? Well, that might be a whole big conversation, but hey, we'll see what happens out there. We'll see what happens out there. David, thank you so much for being a part of this evening. And if you guys have any more questions, please share this out. Yes, we have Miss Melissa Ray. She's like, yes, we love this. And it's just been popping up here through the evening. I appreciate everybody's joining in, because I know going twice in 1 week is kind of a lot of commitment, but I just knew that David, I mean, it's September, guys, some big shopping holidays are coming up. I'm just saying. So get ready. That's why this isn't December and we're saying this. We're saying get ready. Get ready, do everything that you can to position yourself, because if your book is about hope, we're living in I don't know if you noticed, maybe they need some of that. Just gonna say. Oh, I got my sassy voice on. I gotta bench her for just a second, because it's gonna get crazy real fast. Real fast. Yes. All right. Merci beaucoup. The whole thing. Nancy says, does Davis have a great example of an Amazon ad for a book? Oh, I'm sure he does. You need to join his group. Look at this. It's called Design, Launch, Grow. And David can share with you a whole bunch of things. Oh, David, do you have a Facebook group too?
I do have a Facebook group. So if you do just search for our Design, Launch, Grow Facebook group, you will see it out there. So we are just specifically set up to help authors, coaches, and course creators, because this is what we do. This is our program that we talk. So even if you want to learn more about what we do, you can go to designlaunchgrow.com, which is scrolling in the feed at the bottom. We specifically work with authors in particular, helping them grow their business. And if you want to ask me questions, you want to learn how to do all these things, we do this in our coaching program. We do this every single week. Every single week, you can get on a call with me. You can sit down and you can show me exactly what it is that you're doing. And that's actually how April and I met. Every Monday, April was there. She was on her lunch break teaching school. And she was so disciplined to make sure she was first in line for the questions every week. And she always had her questions ready to go. And she was working on stuff and figuring out how to promote her book, how to get things out there. But this is what we do. We sit here and this is just some of the stuff that you can do for your book. We are more than happy to help you learn how to grow your business, learn how to create additional revenue and income streams from your message. And so you can hop on. We are $147 a month, and it's the most help. And we have a massive website of training resources and so forth. And it's the most help you're ever going to get for that low of a price. And so I highly encourage you to check it out, because this is what we're passionate about doing, is helping all of you get going. And there is no long-term commitment. You can join for just a few months or a month or two if you want, just for the help, and we'd be happy to help you. And April's got additional help coming in here tonight.
I do. He wants to be the superhero. So, Harry had to grab my hairband and put it around his neck. Okay. See, it's a hero every moment, guys.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes. All right. It's just life. Y'all used to this. You know my thing.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, David. And I hope that helps you out there, Nancy. I've been working with Nancy for a little bit, and wow, they've got some great questions. And so I'm like, oh, head on over there. She is awesome. And hopefully she takes advantage of that. So, superhero for the win.
There you go.
There you go. All right, guys, hop on his Facebook group. Check out his stuff down there below. And really, the coaching, I can't tell you enough. I can't stress it enough. It is fantastic. All right, guys, we're jumping off because we're going long. See y'all.